All right, well, what's on the bench today? I was taking apart an old camera. It's actually a camera that went on a hummingbird feeder, and you can watch the little birds at the hummingbird feeder. And it just started to leak, so I just wanted to throw it away so I didn't have to clean up sticky mess all the time. But here's the little sensor. I've never seen one just that in the open. Usually they're in a ceramic package, the CMOS imager, but this one's just flopped onto the PC board. That's pretty how you doing. There's a little IR sensor here for like a motion detect, which is kind of cool, and like a 3-stage amplifier down here. Yeah, there's a bunch of chips on it, a Wi-Fi, and maybe a Bluetooth connector. Maybe that's the Wi-Fi connector. I don't think so though, because it came with an antenna. So anyway, yeah. What I was interested in today though was another thing that was on it. And if this is the CMOS image, there used to be a lens here. I've already torn down the lens just to see what was inside. But this went over it like this, and it's a ring illuminator. There's some LEDs in a ring, but it's not just any old ring illuminator. It's an IR illuminator. So these sensors are black and white unless you put a color filter on top of them. So, I mean, I shouldn't say exactly that way. They're not black and white. Oh gosh, let me draw a picture. All right, so if this is wavelength, and this is intensity, there's a blue one. So there's a one of the pixels has a blue pigment on top of it, a dye or pigment, and then one of them has a green pigment, and one of them has a red pigment. So you have blue, green, and red, right? So RGB. But that's not the way these filters actually are, okay? The way that they actually are is this red doesn't go back down. It actually goes straight across, and it transmits infrared. It does block this, but this is not there. It just goes all the way up. So you have to put in an IR cut filter. So in the optical change, usually right on top of this sensor, you put in a filter that looks something like this, okay? A UV vis. Usually it droops over as well. So it blocks out the UV and it blocks out the IR and only transmits vis. And these are called a UV vis filter. Some of them are just this. Sometimes they're red, blue-green glass. Anyway, doesn't matter. There's this filter, okay? And so if you remove the filter, then the camera can see this stuff, because the camera goes out to 1100 nanometers. Silicon can go out to about 1100 nanometer. And you have to put this cut in here to throw away everything above 700. This is at about 700 nanometers, so everything above that gets thrown away. But if you have a whole bunch of these illuminators, they might be at 820 nanometers. That's pretty popular. 820 nanometers. So 820 is like out here. Well, this can see it if this filter wasn't there. So this camera actually had a little solenoid that could pull the filter in and out, okay? So when it went into night mode, it yanked that filter out of the way, and then this could see the rest of it. It's not going to give you a good color image because it's all wacky, but it will allow it to see at least in the red channel. I think the green channel comes up as well, and the blue channel comes up as well past a certain point. Anyway, it doesn't really matter. What matters is there's this filter in there, and if you remove that filter, then these things start seeing infrared light, and that's the way the infrared cameras work, okay? Normally they have the filter in it. If you remove the filter, then it goes good. A lot of astrophotography people take really nice cameras and rip the IR filter out of them. This UV fizz filter, they'll rip that out of there to do astrophotography and stuff. You probably know other reasons why people make their cameras into IR cameras, or they just buy a good. Really, the best thing to do is just buy a black and white, a CMOS imager with no color filters on it at all. Take black and white pictures, and for like astro, you would put a filter in and take a picture, put a filter in, take a picture, put a filter in, take a picture. You'd put a helium line, an iron line, whatever, oxygen line. You would put these line filters in there and take these pictures, and you would create a false color image. But anyway, we're talking about this thing, which has this UV vis filter that gets pulled out of the way, and then you can use the illuminator. So the video is all about the illuminator, not about the camera, not about filters, not about all that stuff. It's about these guys, okay? All right, so they are some little LEDs. I'm guessing they're 820. I haven't bothered to measure them, but they're 6 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, there's 8 of them. 8 of them. But there's 2 in series and then 4 in parallel. All right. So let's put it on the curve tracer. All right. So we have it on the curve tracer. We're at half a volt per division. So there's 1 volt, 2 volts, 2.5 volts, about 2.5 volts. Remember, there's 2 in series. They're gonna be about of 1.25 volt VF, something like that, the IR LEDs. So anyway, yeah, so it's turning on 10 milliamps per division in this direction. And my thing is going funny. Okay, there we go. So how do you know it's actually on? Because when you look at it, you can't see anything. It's nothing, right? Visible light can't, the human eye can't see it, the cameras can't see it, nobody can see it. All right, so there's this thing that I use all the time. And this is a filter made by, or not filter, it's called an infrared sensor. Quantex, this is a model Q-11-R. And what it is, it's some fancy phosphors. And these phosphors, you charge this thing up with visible light or UV light. You charge it and you push the electrons up into high orbital states. And you shine a really bright light on it and charge it up. So we'll charge it up with our flashlight here, okay? And what we'll do is excite a bunch of atoms up to a very high state, and they lock there. They're actually trapped up there. And in order for them to fall, you have to pump them a funny little way. And you can do that by shining IR light on it. So let me turn the room lights off, okay? And here is the sensor. Yeah, okay, we're gonna have that there. And I'm gonna bring the, I think you can see that. Let me put up the current a little bit. And let me change the camera a little bit. Yeah, there we go. So you can see that this these IR LEDs, when they shine against this thing, they glow. They give kind of an orange light, okay? And what that is the energy from these IR LEDs are releasing the high orbital states into a low orbital state, and when they fall down, they emit a photon. They emit this orange photon, okay? So yeah, so it's a really cool effect. All right. So I would always carry these around with me as an optical engineer, so I can see infrared light. Infrared light if I ever needed to. I just pull one of these out and put it under, like you get a remote control for your TV and shine it on here, you'll see an orange spot. All right, so I use these all the time. But let's say that you're out in the field and you don't have your card with you and you go, oh no, what do I do? What do I do? And you say, I remember. You know those filters I just talked about that went inside those cameras? Well, they're not perfect. They're not absolutely perfect. They leak a little tiny bit. So if I take my iPhone camera, all right, and I look at those LEDs, look at that. They glow. Can you see? I want to get all the reflections and everything. They glow purple. Hope that shows up on camera. They're glowing purple. Let me turn out the room lights. Yeah, there you go. You see how that glows purple? So why is it glowing purple? Why purple, you say? I'm glad you asked. What is purple? Purple is red plus blue. So it means that those filters on the RGB filters on the actual CMOS imager, I told you the red one leaks right from the get-go. And I said some of the other ones might come up. Well, guess what? The blue filter came up. So both, the green filter must have stayed down, but the red filter came up and the blue filter came up. And so when I shine the infrared light on it, because of the not so great filters in your cell phone camera, you were leaking a little bit of red light and you were leaking a little bit of blue light, and that got onto the imager, right? So remember, like there's a pixel over. So the way that cameras work is there's this pattern called the Bayer pattern, but there's a blue pixel, a green pixel, a green pixel, and a red pixel, right? And these, each one of them has goo on top of it. So it has the blue goo, the green goo, and the red goo. Those are the filters, right? And when we shine the infrared light on it, it's going through this filter, and so it's exciting that diode, and it's going through the blue filter, so it's exciting that diode, but it's not getting through the green diode, so it's not exciting the green ones. And blue plus red, purple, so we're seeing purple. So anyway, there you go. If you're out in the field and you need to see if your IR LED is actually doing something, you can use your cell phone, at least this one. I'm not sure about, every make and model is going to be different, but at least this one I know I can cheat a little bit.